Here we go. Here we go. Victory Formation Podcast. It's your boy Prescott, Eddie. Tell the people how you feel.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. We missed you.
Whatever time of day y'all listening to this. But we're here to catch you up on all the latest Cowboy news.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about this because it's I've been pretty thirsty for these last couple of days, going through all this info and watching all this free agent mess and excitedness.
This is draft time. This is Eddie's Christmas. This is his Super Bowl. He don't care about the season as much as he care about draft time, watching college players feel each other up, try to get to third base with each other in those pro days.
Shit, that's not true. I love the game, but the thing about it was like after I stopped playing coaching, like the nerd in me started learning more about like what the game was all about and how teams are put together and stuff like that, because it is the back end of everything is just amazing.
I think I start getting into it, man. I just don't know how to watch it like y'all do. How to look at it scientifically.
It's not like there was a lot of information pushed out, because a lot of people nowadays, they kind of get on and they do that. You know how there's a different view. It's a 20 the
all 22.
All 22. That wasn't there for the public for a long time. Just
it wasn't. Yeah.
Been released. So
well,
I mean,
people can get to it.
If you wanted to learn, I mean, you had to dig, you had to read articles, you had to listen to sift through. But now you can go on YouTube and you can listen to whatever. I mean, how many podcasts and evaluations? It's just a matter of time, finding the time to do it. I'm just ridiculously have a lot of free time in my hands. So.
I like Lombardi and Broadus. I like how they break stuff down. And then I like Chase Daniels. Chase Daniels is surprisingly good. Him and Kurt Warner. I like those two.
I've been watching a lot of Law Nation and Broadus and Patrick Nosey. I've been watching a lot of those guys, and because I want to know the insides and what they're hearing from guys that are actually at the Star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
you know what? I've been a fan for a long time. And you know when I started watching it, when Dak had his lots of interceptions, and I got tired of people saying, "Oh, Dak suck," and then people who I trust started saying, "Hey, you got to watch the tape. It's really not all on Dak." And so that's when I really started watching it, so I can learn concepts. And then that's when I started learning how they had those option routes, and Lamb was like not running his routes correctly.
Yeah.
And so
who was that? The tight end that wasn't running the combo routes with him, right? It was
weird. It was bad. Yeah.
You know the phrase "casual fan." I think it's basically been referred in the last few years, but it refers to the fan that watches on Sunday, jumps onto these these head talking shows, and they listen to the Shady McCoy saying how stupid Dak is and how much he sucks, and then that's just his reality.
Oh man,
right?
And then that's what they get on the BR boards and the Reddit boards and they start posting. They just start mimicking what they say, and I'm like, do you even watch the game?
The first thing is like, just trade Dak for a rookie, for Shadur Sanders. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
It's crazy.
So the last couple of weeks have been pretty heavy with our free agent news and moves and everything, and it's been pretty heavy in this last week 3, where a lot of teams have already spent a lot of money, a lot of the free agents, but it came to the end of the league year. Actually happened on the 12th, which was just 6 days ago. So that's when a lot of the players got dropped, and there was a whole nother wave, right? The Cooper Kupps and the all those guys that were actually released after that. So did you? I know. I mean, we're going backwards, but did you think we were going to be in that Cooper Kupp mix?
I did. I honestly did, only because of who they didn't sign. Like I'm watching the tea leaves of who we signed and who we didn't sign based off of how many free agents we had. So from the beginning of the year, I saw a graphic when the season ended, how many free agents we had, and it was literally half our team were legit free agents, not 1 year left, 2 years left. It was legit. They had no contract once the season ended.
Mhm.
So it's like we didn't have a choice. We had to sign, even if we had 12 draft picks, we still had to sign like 15 to 16 different people.
Yeah, and
So
I think that's why
it was big.
That's why a lot of people were like, "Who are these guys that you're signing?" You know,
Yeah.
Jerry's doing that same thing that again. No, he's not. We've never spent the amount of money that we spend in free agency like we did this last.
Yeah, they're up to like 33 million or something like that. They've only spent, I mean, they spent quote unquote a lot for Jerry, but it's been spread across 8 to 12 players, as opposed to signing a huge, like out of the best free agents that were available. Like for instance, the guy, the number one free agent, the guy from the defensive tackle from Philadelphia that went to the Patriots.
Oh yeah,
he signed a 4-year, $104 million contract. So we spent probably 33, 35 million for everyone. They spent 26 million on him by himself. So like we didn't do those guys.
Yeah.
Or the Ronnie Stanleys, the old tackle, or the Zach Bonds, those guys. We didn't do those type of guys. We had to make our money stretch, so we couldn't spend all the money on one player.
But I don't think I get it. Some of those teams didn't need to do that. They already had their holes filled, but they also lost holes as well. They all lost players. But
yeah, that's what she said. Yeah,
our strategy wasn't who's the best player out there? Go get him. Because that's, in my opinion, that's just dumb. Because you're spending a lot of money on a vet contract. Where if you draft right like we do, you can get somebody in on a rookie salary. We might have to pay him for 4 years, and then everybody's going to freak out. But that's just the way it is when you draft good.
Yeah.
But what we've done was we've signed players that not only field roles, but they can compete as well. Because back in the day, we would spend. They said we were the Goodwill shoppers or the basement shoppers and just picking up things. But that's not true this year. I think what we've spent minimum dollars because we've signed minimum contracts. They're basically all 1 year prove-it deals.
Yeah, 1 or 2 year deals.
Except one player got a 3-year deal. What was that? Dante?
Osa did.
Dante. Osa did. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Nah, Dante got a 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Fowler.
I mean, does Dante?
Yeah.
Dante almost. I mean, having the best year that he's had ever.
Yeah.
And like
1 year,
it's
8
crazy
million.
how he signed a 1 year prove-it.
Yeah. Because the only reason I know his is because they had this narrative going out that ever since what's the guy, the crazy guy, Greg Hardy, we hadn't spent $6 million a year on a free agent since Greg Hardy.
Well, we did that. We did that like 3 or 4 times this year.
Yeah, and so no. Dante Fowler became the first one.
No, I know, but Dante did it. We did it with like 3 other guys. We spent more than $6 million on.
Well, outside free agents, like we don't count re-signing our own guys. So like Osa beat that, but he wasn't a free agent where he came from another team.
Yeah, but wasn't there like two guys in the last couple of days that we spent more money on them?
I don't think so. Not $8 million per year. It might have been $8 million in total, and they signed a 2-year deal, but it wasn't 8. Like the first guy to break that $6 million per year number was Dante.
I know
Fowler.
Dante was the first one. I get that. Let's move on. So the next, the free agents that are left out there. I mean, there's some pretty good guys that are still left out there. And I know you did some.
I looked this up. Yeah, I looked this up. Out of the top 50, it's only 7 left.
Okay.
It's Amari Cooper, Asante Samuel, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Robinson. Wait, no, I'm lying. Hold on. Yes, best available. I'm lying. Yeah. Amari Cooper, Asante Samuel, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Robinson, Stephon Diggs, Tevin Jenkins. He's an offensive guard. And then Calais Campbell. Those are the 7 that are in the top 50.
What
and
about
then it goes like 54, Jameis Winston.
What about the dude from the Cardinals, the guard? He's not in the top 50? Gonzalez?
He's not on here. Unless somebody signed him.
No, they didn't yet. But that's cool. I think I think the movement that we've done, I think there was like that first wave of let's fill some needs and some holes so that we're not drafting for need. We're not having to
Yeah,
reach for a Mozzie because we need defensive tackles.
correct. Yeah,
I
and
mean, we signed
so I'm all
Solomon,
for that.
we signed
All for that.
we signed Osa, and we signed Solomon. So we don't have
Yep.
to reach for somebody in the first, or maybe draft two of them because we didn't pick anybody up.
Yep.
Um,
I am all for that. So like with us, the highest ranking free agent we signed
mhm.
was Dante Fowler. Minus Osa. So the highest ranking free agent we signed was Dante Fowler. He was like the 60th ranked player on the top 100. And the highest ranking player we lost was D-Law. He was number 47. So the only people we had left in the top 100 was Dowdle. He was 67. Jordan Lewis with the U, he was 71, and Chauncey Golson was 95. Those are only other three free agents we had in the top 100.
So the free agents that we actually signed, I think are going to meld well with the players that we already have. Plus, bringing
Yeah.
some guys back that we had before. I mean, Dante knows he was only away from us for a year.
Yeah, and he's back.
I know, so it's nice. The next steps for the NFL are pro days, and those have been happening. This last week. One of the biggest
Anything new
pro
with that?
days that happened was the Arizona pro day happened yesterday, and
Oh yeah,
McMillan or Tia, I always say his name wrong, but I just say Tata.
I just say Tet. Tet T.
So his pro day was I mean, there was like 24 teams there yesterday. Yeah, he went out there and he ran a 4.48 and a 4.53.
Yeah, he's not
on his
so far. So
on his frame, right? I hated coaches putting me in a box because of numbers that I had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like my coach always, I've heard him a couple times, and I've said it to players too. Is like if I could put your heart in somebody else's body, that. So his frame is NFL. His plays is NFL. His game speed is NFL. His sprinting when you're holding a stopwatch is not gonna break records.
Think like an Anquan Bolden, something like that.
Yeah, I think that helped us. I think it helped us a lot because he wasn't gonna be there at 12 if he ran a 4.39 at all. There's no way.
Man, no way.
I mean?
He would have been top 10
easily. People would have been trading up to get him. So
yeah, they'd have been like, we like this guy.
Yeah. So I mean, his pro day happened. I mean, there's been multiple pro days that happened. I haven't really. I'll look more into kind of the results of the players that we were looking at in those pro days. But I mean, obviously, you have to have a representative at most of them, because even if you're not going to Colorado's to watch Shadur. You're going to Colorado's to see him throw to Jimmy Horn. You're going to Colorado's to see the offensive lineman in the back corner. I mean, New York's going to see him. The rest of the pro days have happened, and we'll have to do a little bit more digging into kind of like the players that we followed on those. And then after that, there's going to be like the official visits and the actual workouts with each specific team. But
gotcha.
Then we have our draft coming up, and I thought it would be important to kind of go through some of the players that will be drafted and what we think is going to be on our board, what we need, and what some of our favorites. I even came up with a couple of guys that I think we should, if we need to, can reach on, and they would be, they might even be like undrafted free agents. I have no idea, but
we don't even need Tet, do we? We just picked up Paris Campbell. Aren't they like the same player?
That's what I'm talking about, though. It's like
carbon copies.
Well, if you think about it, I listened to an hour of Law Nation talking about Paris Campbell because he has almost the exact beard as Law Nation. If you watch it, it's pretty funny. But I didn't like. I only knew Paris Campbell from fantasy, right? I'm not a Colts fan.
Yeah,
I'm
same
not
thing.
an Eagles fan.
I do not know.
But if you think about it, remember the year that everybody was like, "Oh, you got to pick up Paris, man. He is killing it," because he was killing it for one
little stretch
season. I'm not kidding. The 6 years that he's been in the league are like 6 catches, 4 catches, like 85 catches, 6 catches, 3 catches. And like the season that he had last year with the Eagles was crazy because like, you can overlook it and be like, oh, dude, this guy only had 6 catches.
Yeah.
He had 6 catches on 6 targets. And out of those 6 catches, one of them was a touchdown. Like he was like the ultimate in benefit from that salary that he got paid because he was catching everything, but nobody threw any balls to him. He wasn't playing.
People keep picking him up based off potential.
And I think it's
we can fix him.
That motherfucker can run a legit 4.3 140. I mean, he is speed. And it's not Turpin speed. Turpin is tiny speed. This guy's big. I mean, tall enough to be able to out there run safeties and corners off if he needs to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of the pickups that we did were, they were camp bodies. We could say camp bodies, but each one of the players that we got brings a unique thing to our team that the other players don't have, right?
So, is there anyone who you're like, yeah, we could have done without that guy? I don't even know why they brought him on the team.
Yeah. The last running back that we picked up, Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What
about the guy?
Maybe that guard that we maybe the guard that we picked up from Miami, the second guy that we picked up that was like ranked.
What's his name?
96,
like 64 out of 64. Yeah.
Maybe that.
You know the one I do like. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about that I didn't know anything about is that linebacker.
Don't even get me hot because I can only get so hard. Don't do it. Don't do it.
A lot of the smart people have been saying that he is really a good pickup. Like he's a sneaky good pickup.
Are you talking about Sanborn from the Bears?
Yeah, Sanborn. Yeah, him.
You have
the
no idea.
linebacker. A lot of people said that they like him. I never heard of him before.
The year
I don't know
that he
anything
came out, he was not drafted. Right, I watched him at Wisconsin, and I kept putting him on our mock, like, hey, we need to draft this guy, a kid. And then he wasn't drafted, and I'm like, maybe we're going to pick him up, but we picked up Marquise Bell, and we picked up somebody else.
Yeah, Marquise Bell.
That was our undrafted free agency that year. But he got picked up by the Bears, and he had a hell of a season, like ridiculous season. And then he became a starter, and like I'm thinking, look, they got so much value out of that. I'm sure they're going to re-sign him, and then they released him, and we picked him up, and I almost fell out of my chair. But the other linebacker that we picked up too was like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Kenneth, what's his name? Not Walker, because I keep saying Kenneth Walker, and everybody keeps.
Yeah, I was just about to say Kenneth Walker, but it's not him. I'll tell you his name.
But I mean, he's CD's boy. In college, he was the man, and if he can get back to playing, like what he's saying is Eberflus, what he does is he creates a defense that allows you to turn your brain off and just play.
Kenneth Murray.
That's
Jr. His name.
Yeah, he came over from the Chargers,
Titans.
And he from the Titans, but he was with the Chargers before.
He was with the Chargers too. Yeah.
He actually had been playing with our linebacker that we had last year. What's his name? The long hair kid.
Leofau.
No, not Leofau.
I mean Kendricks.
Yeah. So he learned a lot of the NFL from Kendricks. He was saying.
Yeah.
So he's like, what he taught me was, to play like a vet, not be a rookie right off the bat. So I'm thinking that Sanborn and Murray are going to take over this locker room big time. I know Micah wants to be a leader, but these guys are true leaders. A lot of people have been saying that Sanborn's going to walk in, he's going to take over that locker room right away, which is what we need.
Yeah.
He is a and word for word what this scout said, he is a Sean Lee type. And I
Yeah,
know
they
how
said
we
he's
love
very
Sean
good
Lee.
against the run. So he's very good against the run. He's so in coverage, but he's excellent against the run. Is what I've been hearing.
And Murray's the yin to that yang. Like he can play the middle. He puts everybody where they need to be. He's good in the run, but he's best in coverage. So that's going to help out.
Yeah.
But let's go through these because what we did was we talked about talking about specific positions throughout the week, and this week we chose defensive tackles, defensive ends, right? Our DN, our D line, which if anyone knows the game, if you don't have good players in the trenches, you could have $400 million quarterback, and you ain't shit.
The best, or the best linebackers, and if they can't get in the muck and keep those guys clean, they won't be making any tackles because they'll be taking on guards all day.
So let's start with D tackles, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to do it this way. Let's talk about who we retained real quick, who we picked up as free agents. And then we can start talking about who we need in the draft.
All right.
So who we have on our roster right now as D tackles is Mozzie, Osa, which re-signed.
Yep.
Solomon Thomas, which is he's
1 year. It's a 2-year deal,
and he's
worth $8 million.
He's more of a three tech, not a one tech. He's long, tall, and can rush the passer. And then we have a guy that I don't know if we drafted him or if it was a UDFA last year. It was Rogers, that kid from Auburn.
Yeah, we drafted him.
Okay.
He left and then he came back.
Yeah, he did.
So we drafted him and then he went somewhere. I can't remember where he went, but then he came back this year.
Shit like that,
yeah.
Okay, so those are the D linemen that we have right now, not including anybody that we pick off the streets or whatever.
Yeah. And so now, speaking of who's available, right now, top 2 available, Calais Campbell.
Oh, please.
And he's like the 33rd. He's in the top 50 of free agents available. And then there's Darius Smith. He's not a tackle. He's a DN. But those are only 2 defensive.
Remember when we were negotiating with him before he went back?
I remember. Yeah.
But,
and I kind of wanted him. I like him. But those are the only 2 defensive linemen who are still available that, would get people, get their nipples hard. Like, oh, we picked him up.
Calais was a unicorn to me for a long time because living here in Arizona.
He's still effective.
But he plays the same exact position and the same thing that Solomon Thomas does.
Thomas does, yeah. So that's why I don't think we'll get him. I said the same thing. We already got him in Solomon Thomas, a younger, higher draft pick, which our defensive line guy, if he can get something out of Solomon Thomas, that would be just hell yeah.
Chef kiss. What we need to do, and what I focused on when I was looking at guys, is I focused on size. Size is going to be. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I stepped up to somebody, if I physically knew that I could overpower this person, and if I felt like it, my confidence was up.
Yeah.
If I walked up and I had to look up at somebody, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is going to be a long ass day.
Man,
so I mean,
we call them off the bus guys. When they walking off the bus, you were like, man, look at this dude.
First,
like, what are we gonna do with him?
So the guys that I found that I've been kind of mocking to myself and things, I found Deion Walker. He went to the Senior Bowl. He's from Kentucky. He is a monster, but he needs work with his pursuit. He's 6'7", 331. No, 6'7", 331 pounds, Prescott. Think about how big of a man that man is.
Man, I'm 6 foot tall, and I'm usually one of the tallest people in the room when I go somewhere. He's 6'7".
That's 2 people.
Like, man, that's like where'd they make him at? Like in a lab somewhere? Like they don't make humans like that.
What's funny about him is that what I like to do is I like to see, hey, what other positions did this kid play when he was younger? This guy was a tight end before too. So you know that he can move his hips, and he can catch the ball, and he's an athlete, right? So he's just a big boy now, and so I think of things like that. Next guy is a hometown boy, Alfred Collins, 6'6", 332, Texas. UT kid.
Okay.
Everybody in the Cowboys Discord loves all the Texas boys, right?
I
This
just like that
guy.
play they ran.
If you went out to a Texas farm and looking for steers, I bet you would find Alfred Collins out there, grazing with these cats. See, this guy is a big boy.
Yep.
He just, some scouts saying that he kind of has a little problem getting off the ball, and that he takes plays off. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. We can't really say he's going to do that in the NFL because there's going to be guys, you're making money. This is your livelihood. It's not you're not in school.
Exactly, man.
You weren't partying the night before.
You got to motivate yourself.
Yeah. And then finally, another guy that I really like from FSU, his name is Joshua Farmer, 6'3", 305, a little bit smaller. He's shorter.
All right.
But for the lack of height, he has this mean streak that, those guys that you don't want to go up against, and that you just pissed them off, and you don't want to go back out to the next play because he's going to be mean. He's nonstop motor, constant nonstop. He's just short. And then I threw a late swing in there on a guy that I think.
How late we talking? Like 6th, 7th round?
Yeah, I'm talking about late 5th, 6th. Where you're going. What are we going to do with this pick? We've already picked people who we want.
Yeah.
Who do we going to fill out? This kid, his name is Nazir Stackhouse. He's from Georgia, right? So you don't really think of these big cats from Georgia as late swings, but he is ranked a little bit lower than most people. He is 6'4", 327. He's thick, like with CC thick.
What?
He's a run stuffer, but they're saying that he has tight hips. He doesn't rush the passer. That's why that's the problem is he's just a run stuffer.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking, if we can get him late or even UDFA him,
yeah.
I mean, we can help him.
Because some people were talking about. When I heard the rumors of some people talking about Dontari Poe this week for us.
Oh, I haven't even seen that.
And
he's been around for so long, right?
Man, I hated that guy when he used to. He was the one person that used to give Travis Frederick problems. I remember that to this day. But
I really thought Jerry was going to go after like Allen, like one of those guys.
Yeah,
but
because out of all the defensive tackles, the only person left, like out of the top 10, is Calais Campbell. He's the only one left that's that'll get somebody. But like I said, they already picked up him and Solomon Thomas. So I don't think so. I think those out of those names you listed, we're doing defensive tackle in the draft. Like we might sign other free agents, but when it comes like we might spring up and right before camp sign a Keenan Allen or something like that, or maybe a random safety. But I think on the defensive line and linebackers, I think we're done until the draft.
Yeah, I think so too.
Unless somebody gets released, that's shocking. Like, oh, we don't want to pay this guy, we're releasing him, or he just got arrested for DUI and we're releasing him and we take a shot at him or whatever. No, that's the only signings I see now. So the fun time.
Who I really wanted to get? I was hoping that kid, that nose tackle from Baltimore, didn't retire. Remember him?
Oh yeah,
big kid that made that interception in the playoffs last year, and everyone was like, I wanted him so bad, but he retired.
Man, yep. So
the next position, I hope I'm not talking too much, but the next position is defensive end.
Yep.
And who we have on the roster right now at defensive end? You know who they are, right?
No, go ahead.
Right
I know,
now,
the irregular names.
Right
I know we got Nealon and Sam, and
we have Sam, Nealon, we have Wheat, and then we also have Micah. But we signed Dante Fowler, we signed Peyton Turner. I don't know why. If you guys have a chance, go check out. I guess we could put a link in the bottom here of that Law Nation breakdown.
He's not one of the favorite. Yeah, he's not one of the favorite pickups.
Man, he. When you're watching somebody and you see things and you can write down like, oh, this kid has tight hips. Oh, this kid doesn't have a dip. This guy can't get off blocks. Like I was watching it, and he off of what Law Nation had up there, and Attack on Cowboys, AOC.
Yeah.
It was just it was like a rolling list of what you wouldn't want in a defensive end. It was ridiculous. But whatever.
The only good thing I
Yeah,
saw about anybody say about him is that if they release him, it won't cost us
Yeah,
anything. That was the best thing anybody could say about him. So
Mhm.
it's like this is a legit lottery ticket.
I just hope he
They were
doesn't
saying
fall
if
on
they
one
can
of
get
our offensive linemen's knees.
exactly
That's what it
hurt
is.
somebody. They said if he can turn into a Carl Lawson or a George Selvey, that would be a winning lottery ticket
Oh,
for
yeah,
us
it would.
because
I just don't see it. He doesn't. He almost seems like he's a D tackle, and he's got that thickness to him, and he's not a defensive end. It's weird, but
yeah,
the players that I looked at were in the draft. Some of them, would have to be drafted in the first, but some of them,
yeah.
one of them, I think is going to fall. I don't know why he's falling, but he's falling.
Who's
So
that?
the first guy is James Pierce. James Pierce from Tennessee.
Okay,
Probably the fastest defensive end I've ever seen in my life. He's that kid that ran that like 4.3 or 4.40, and he's
okay,
6'5",
yeah.
245. It was just ridiculous.
He's not fast. He's not faster than Parsons.
He's faster than Parsons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, they didn't make big deal about his 40. I don't remember Parsons being that fast either. I remember
he wasn't that
Parsons
fast
in
in the
our.
40.
I know Parsons can beat people in races. I've seen that, but I don't remember
Yeah.
his 40. If you can remember it. But the next guy, the only reason I put him on here is because we sent so many coaches to their pro day and to Georgia's pro day, which is Mikael Williams.
Oh yeah.
That kid is going to be really good. 6'5", 260. He is nonstop motor. He's a bully. His hands are just ridiculous where he places them. He's on.
So he's going in the first round then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we won't get him. I
But
seriously doubt
But they said that
they get a defensive
They
guy.
said that Eberflus went there specifically to see Mikael Williams, and that came from
Really?
not Stefania, but the other female beat reporter that Jerry gives details to. They
Slater?
sent, huh? Yeah, Slater.
Slater? Yeah.
They sent him specifically for that. And then, but what I was thinking, like when I saw that tweet, I was like, that's ridiculous, because the pro day at Georgia, there's like 8 or 9 guys there that I would
So
draft.
it's like, man.
But what they're
I
saying
like the
was that he was there
linebacker from
for
there.
that.
Yeah, I like the linebacker they got.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But it's like,
they have a
yeah,
safety,
we're not
they have
pick,
two
I don't think we're
people.
going defense. If anything, we're going to go wide receiver, running back, or O-line in the first round. Defensive end is like fourth in the list.
There's no reason for us to even try to be just try to come up with a reasoning as to what we're going to do, because we both know that we're going to be like, oh,
They're going to do whatever
there's
they
no
want.
reason
Yeah.
that there's no way in the world would we draft a punter in the first round, and then all of a sudden Jerry will fucking pull out the.
But we were right with Tyler Smith. Like we knew they wanted an offensive lineman. We just
had no
we just
idea.
didn't know they were going to.
Yeah.
We just didn't know they were going to pick that guy.
Yeah.
We thought they were going to pick several other people before him.
That's true. We just got a sleeper.
So that was shocking.
Every time a sleeper pops up, I always go, oh, but it's not. It was just about Mark Vanders.
And same thing with the guy from last year from Oklahoma. We knew they wanted an old lineman again, but I don't think he was the person that they said.
But
I think
we can go edge
get
right
on
now
the
because
positions.
we didn't sign Tank. We have to somehow draft an edge somewhere.
I don't think they'll do it in the first round. I think they'll. But I saw a thing where they said the last time they did a wide receiver cornerback combo was when they did Lamb, Trevon Diggs.
No, that was I saw that tweet. But that's not
since Lamb has been drafted,
that's like
nobody's caught more passes than him.
That's like saying
since
I threw these pennies up in the air 5 times and they landed on heads 3 times. So the next time it's going to be heads.
I trust Will. Will is a
I believe
genius.
you.
He's like MIT level.
We trust in Will, definitely. But
I don't know what they're gonna do.
The next DN that I saw that's falling, that I don't, we would have had to reach earlier with like the draft board where he was, and I think it's because of the national championship, as he did really well. Is Jack Sawyer. Sawyer, the Ohio State defensive end.
He had a game in the national championship.
He had a game and a half, man. 6'4", 260, high motor kid. Has a amazing family. Grew up, dad coaching, things like that player, the one that you
Yeah, he
don't ever
played
have
on
to ask,
Lost. Yeah.
the one that you
Man, he
don't ever
played
have
on
to
Lost
ask
and
to get to
everything.
practice and stuff like that. Yeah, he's him. So I'm thinking that maybe if we miss out on all these guys and we do go offense and then running back or receiver and stuff, if we do end up being able to pick BPA, he's going to be there in the third, hopefully. So
Yeah.
maybe. And then the late
You
swing,
got this.
I like this kid named Tyler Batty from BYU. He's like,
Okay.
Brock Hoffman with the eye makeup and the
Oh, yeah.
he's staring in the mirror before the game and like punching himself and shit. That's it. That's this kid.
Yeah.
He's 6'6", 271 as a defensive end. I take a swing on him in the late rounds, definitely.
Let's do it. I trust you. In Eddie, I trust. You like second to Will McClay.
I'm Willie McClay.
Like the only person now, like if you said something,
I'm Willie.
and I'm like, I believe. Yeah, I'll listen to Eddie unless Will says the exact opposite of you. Then I'll be like, yeah, man, forget Eddie. He don't know what he's talking about.
I mean, we all have our little things, Will. Right? Like in the Discord, every single time. What's this dude's name?
Moss?
No, not Moss. Jay Scruggs. Whenever I see that red truck pop up, I know some moved. Somebody moved. This is a legit post. So I better go open it up pretty quick. If I see it's a Moss, I know that he just got he just found a tweet with the freaking a Texan
with the Texas Longhorn on there. Yeah, man. It's like
somebody said that we're gonna draft Ewers. We're drafting
Ewers. He's in there because he's dehydrated from ejaculating too much because he just heard some Texas Longhorns.
Because he's splooged everywhere right now, but I love the passion that kid has, man. He's like me because I'll do deep dive on everybody, but he'll do deep dives on all the Texas Longhorns. Mm-hmm. And not as bad as Peyton with his Arky.
His Arkansas Razorbacks. Oh my God!
Speaking of what we got,
whatever happened to that linebacker that we wanted from there? Where is he at?
Went to Denver
Did he do anything?
Disappeared.
He just disappeared, man.
I'm so glad. Draft the defensive end from Arkansas that has alopecia. That kid that scares me. It's like he's got a skin-colored shiesty on the whole time.
All right. Well, anyway,
we're gonna. I forgot that Carolina's playing tonight. Starts in 30 minutes, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, so we got to jump on that. It's March Madness time.
Man, you got to fill out your brackets. You got to pay your basketball tax. I mean, what my boss used to call it is basketball tax every year. Because any money you put on these tournaments,
you're gonna lose, man. You're gonna lose. So dads, grab your kids and sit them down and teach them the game of college basketball.
And don't give your wife anything to fill out because I guarantee you she'll beat you by just picking.
She will. I don't know how they do it. They're like, I like this teal color, and like what? Like you don't even know if they run a 2-3 zone or a man offense. Like, no, I like this color. Like,
did you
they have
see
the best mascot?
Did you see that one tech school is in? I mean, I know GCU is brand new, and
I know you're talking about. I saw that.
High Point, and I researched who High Point was. It's a life skills university, so they teach life skills. It's not
like how to do taxes and how to change a tire, like stuff like that.
My kids a fucking life skills school, man. That's perfect. And they're making the
man. That's crazy. Exactly. Right. Anyway, so y'all jump on some March Madness.
Yep.
And we'll have to holler at people next week. So I'm about to go in there and eat these Girl Scout cookies and watch some March Madness.
Live, baby.
So y'all keep everything straight. Eddie, tell the people what to do with their families.
You know how it is. You got to make sure that you're don't go to bed angry. Make sure your kids know that you love them and that you do anything for them, and really do it. Don't be dick. Right?
That's right.
Don't just talk.
So y'all stay tuned. We'll have some more Cowboys news for you next week. Keep your ears to the streets and